You ever wake up, grab your phone, and instantly regret it because the first thing you see is something so wild, so unbelievable, so disrespectful that you have to blink 3 times just to make sure you're not dreaming? Because that's exactly what the internet went through this morning when leaked footage allegedly showing Gucci Mane getting robbed started spreading like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and every group chat from Atlanta to people ain't even brushing their teeth yet and they're already typing, "Ain't no way this real, who would dare rob Gucci?" And this gotta be a setup. But the clip is what got everybody's stomach dropping. It's grainy, looks like it came from a parking lot camera, and you can't see everything clearly, but what you can see is enough to make fans' hearts stop. A figure who looks exactly like Gucci stepping out of a black truck and 2 masked men approaching fast. Too fast? The energy in the video doesn't feel like a prank, doesn't feel like a skit. It feels tense, real, and dangerous. And that alone sent the internet into straight panic mode. But here's where it gets even crazier. People close to Gucci Mane are refusing to comment, completely silent. No denial, no confirmation, nothing. And you know how silence hits on the internet, it screams louder than any statement. Fans are confused, shocked, angry, and honestly scared, because if Gucci, the same man who survived everything from industry beefs to real-life shootouts, is caught slipping, who's safe? And now everyone is asking the same question that's blowing up the internet. If this footage is real, who robbed Gucci Mane? And why now? Because this leak didn't just start drama, it started a war. The moment that leaked footage hit the internet, everything stopped. People froze mid-scroll. Comments flooded timelines faster than anyone could read them. It wasn't just the shock of seeing someone who looked like Gucci Mane in that vulnerable moment, it was the disbelief. The confusion, the disbelief that someone with Gucci's reputation, Gucci's history, Gucci's aura would ever be caught off guard like that. You could feel the tension through the screen. Fans kept replaying the clip, zooming in, slowing it down, arguing in the comment section, "Bro, that walk, that's Gucci's walk," and someone else firing back, "Nah, the chain ain't his, this gotta be a deepfake." But most people knew what they were seeing didn't feel edited, it felt raw. Inside Atlanta, group chats started buzzing harder than anywhere else. People close to Gucci, or at least people who claimed to be, were posting cryptic messages. One local producer wrote, "If that's what I think it is, the city finna go crazy." Another posted, "Somebody crossed a line tonight." That only fueled the fire, because if it was fake, people would have said it loud and clear. But the silence felt intentional, and it wasn't just fans talking, people around Gucci were panicking in private. One insider said Gucci's phone was blowing up nonstop. Artists, cousins, security, old friends, everybody trying to figure out what was happening. One person allegedly called him 5 times back-to-back before finally leaving a voice note, "Bro, pick up, tell me this ain't real. Please?" And when Gucci didn't answer, that alone made things worse. Meanwhile, the footage kept circulating. Someone re-uploaded a longer version. In that version, you could see the moment the masked men approached fast and aggressively, but you also saw the hesitation in Gucci's movements. It wasn't fear, it was shock, like he didn't expect anyone to recognize him or even approach him at that location. That's when fans started asking, where was this even filmed? Why was Gucci alone? Where was his security? Because everybody knows Gucci Mane doesn't move alone unless something personal is happening. A rumor began spreading that Gucci was meeting someone privately. Some said a jeweler, others claimed a distant cousin. Someone even mentioned he might have been checking on a property he owns quietly. Nobody knew the truth, but the lack of clarity made the situation 10 times more dramatic. Inside Gucci's camp, emotions were running high. One source claimed that when someone from his label saw the video, they slammed their phone down and yelled, "I told him to take extra security. I told him." That outburst caused tension in the room. Another person snapped back, "This ain't the time to blame him." The argument escalated until someone stepped between them saying, "We need to wait to hear from Gucci." Yelling ain't helping, but Gucci still wasn't responding to anyone, and that's when the internet started creating theories. Wild ones. Some said the footage was old, some said it was staged for a music video. Others claimed it was a robbery gone wrong, but Gucci fought back off camera. Someone even suggested it was a warning, that Gucci was being targeted because of a past beef or a business deal gone wrong. And the more theories popped up, the more suspense grew. One screenshot went viral showing a message from an anonymous account saying, "Y'all don't even know the half. The footage ain't the whole story." That message alone sent TikTok into meltdown. People assumed the robbery had more layers. Some believed Gucci wasn't the only person involved. Others thought someone close to him set him up. Because how would robbers just happen to catch Gucci slipping in a parking lot with no security around? A fan on Twitter wrote, "Someone told them where he was. This wasn't random." That comment got over 50,000 likes in an hour. Meanwhile, in Gucci's household, things were reportedly chaotic. A family member allegedly cried while talking to someone on the phone, saying, "Why he ain't call us yet? Why he not saying nothing? I'm scared." Another family member started calling hospitals anonymously, checking if someone matching Gucci's description had been admitted. They didn't want to believe the worst, but the silence was eating them alive. In the middle of all this, an audio clip leaked, a voice that sounded like one of Gucci's closest friends saying, "Man, if that's real, someone gonna pay for that. Gucci don't deserve that." The tone was emotional, almost shaking, which made fans even more anxious. Because Gucci's inner circle isn't usually emotional. They're usually calm, confident, collected. But this situation? It had everyone shook. Then a twist hit the internet. A second camera angle surfaced. This angle, filmed from farther away, showed more of the parking lot, including a mysterious car parked to the side with its engine running. Fans immediately pointed it out, asking, "Who's that? Why they waiting with the lights off?" The car never drove forward, never helped Gucci, never reacted. It just sat there like it was waiting for something or someone. That sparked a new theory, a setup, a planned robbery, an inside job. One fan wrote, "This ain't no random robbery, this coordinated." Another said, "Someone Gucci trusted told the wrong person the right information." Inside Gucci's circle, things got even more tense. People started side-eyeing each other. One insider claimed two members almost fought after one accused the other of running his mouth. "Who you tell? Who knew he was there?" The argument got so heated people had to separate them before it turned physical. Emotions were exploding everywhere: fear, anger, guilt, confusion. The family was left divided. Some wanted to go public and say Gucci was fine. Others wanted total silence until Gucci himself spoke. But Gucci still hadn't said a word. Some began speculating that Gucci's silence wasn't fear, it was strategy. Maybe he wanted to see how people reacted. Maybe he wanted to find out who leaked the footage. Maybe he was preparing a bigger move behind the scenes. Because Gucci Mane isn't new to drama, he's survived more than most rappers could imagine. But when a reporter tried reaching out for comments, someone close to Gucci replied coldly, "No comment, stop asking." That message only deepened the mystery. The footage continued to circulate. Someone enhanced the audio and claimed they heard Gucci say, "Don't do this, bruh," before stepping back. Others argued it wasn't his voice at all. The debate went viral again, and everyone kept demanding answers because Gucci Mane getting robbed, that wasn't just shocking, it was unbelievable. Then came another twist. A neighbor from the area posted a blurry photo of two men running through the parking lot shortly after the alleged robbery. The caption read, "Didn't know what was going on until I saw the news." The two men were wearing dark clothes and masks, matching the footage. But the real shock was the direction they were running, toward the mysterious parked car. It finally clicked for fans. It was a getaway car. It was planned. Someone set Gucci up. The internet demanded answers. The blogs demanded statements. The fans demanded Gucci be found. But the more people screamed, the quieter things became from Gucci's side. And that silence is what turned a robbery into a full-blown mystery. As the hours passed, the mystery only grew deeper. The internet was wide awake, dissecting every second of the leaked footage like it was a crime documentary premiere. People slowed it down frame by frame, looking for reflections in windows, small details in body movements, anything that could confirm whether the man in the video was really Gucci Mane. But the more people analyzed, the more confusing it became. Some angles looked exactly like Gucci. Other angles didn't. Some frames showed his distinct stride. Others looked slightly off. It was enough to make everyone lose their minds. Then a well-known Atlanta DJ posted, "I just talked to someone close. It's worse than y'all think." That one tweet sent the internet into full panic mode. Comments flooded in instantly. "What you mean worse? Is Gucci hurt? Stop playing." But the DJ didn't say another word. He deleted the tweet minutes later, which only made everything 10 times worse. Because in this generation, deleting something is like screaming the truth at the top of your lungs. Inside Gucci's circle, trust was cracking. Rumors spread that Gucci's security team was scrambling behind the scenes. They were checking footage from nearby stores, calling contacts, trying to piece together who was in that parked getaway car. One person from the team apparently lost it and yelled in frustration, "How did they even know he was there? Who the hell said something?" Another snapped back, "Stop pointing fingers, we ain't even sure that's him in the footage." But no matter how much they argued, the fear was real. Someone betrayed Gucci. Meanwhile, fans were blowing up Keisha Kawar's Instagram. Thousands of comments asking if Gucci was okay, begging for answers, accusing her of hiding something. But she didn't post anything. Not a picture, not a story, not a like. Nothing, and silence from a wife. That's what sent fans over the edge. People started making wild assumptions. Some claimed she was crying, others said she was furious. One viral tweet said, "If Keisha ain't saying nothing, something serious happened." But behind closed doors, Keisha was reportedly a storm of emotions. One insider claimed she was pacing the living room, phone in hand, tears in her eyes, whispering, "This can't be happening again, not again." Gucci's past wasn't easy. She'd seen him go through dangerous situations before. The thought of him being robbed or worse made her feel sick. She kept calling his phone, voicemail, calling again, voicemail, calling again, straight to voicemail. Meanwhile, Gucci himself was finally starting to respond, but not publicly. He reached out to one person, a childhood friend. According to the insider, Gucci's voice was calm but tense. He said, "Don't tell nobody I called. I'm good, but something ain't right. This wasn't random." His friend froze. "What you mean, it wasn't random?" Gucci replied, "I can't talk long, just know they knew where I was." That one sentence became the most chilling part of the whole situation. Because if Gucci really said that, it meant everything fans feared was true. He'd been set up. Not by strangers, not by random robbers, by someone who knew his schedule, his habits, his movements. And when that friend leaked pieces of the conversation to a private chat, everything spiraled out of control. People guessed it was a cousin, others said it was a jealous associate, some accused a business partner. A few pointed to a former crew member who had beef with Gucci years ago. Nobody knew the truth, but everyone had a suspect in mind. Then another video surfaced, not leaked footage, but a shaky phone recording of two men bragging in a dark room. Their faces were blurred, voices distorted, but the captions read, "We got him, Big W, y'all know who we talkin' bout." The clip was short, almost taunting, but the internet exploded anyway. Fans swore the background of the room looked like an apartment complex from East Atlanta. Some said they recognized the blinds. Someone even claimed they matched the shadow of one guy to a local rapper who'd had small beef with Gucci in 2017. The accusations went crazy. People went live screaming, "We know who did it." Others said, "They trying to go viral off Gucci's name." Within hours, the two masked men from the bragging video became the internet's most hunted faces, even though nobody actually knew their identities. Meanwhile, deeper inside Gucci's circle, an emergency meeting was happening. His manager, his security lead, two trusted family members, and someone from his label all sat down trying to piece the situation together. The air was thick, everyone was stressed. Someone said, "If Gucci don't speak soon, the rumor's gonna destroy his reputation." Another replied, "He can't speak yet, not until we know exactly what we're dealing with." The security lead slammed his fist on the table, saying, "Whoever did this, they gonna pay." "I promise," but Gucci's manager was the most stressed of all. He whispered, "This ain't just about a robbery, this is about humiliation. They wanted to embarrass him." That theory hit hard. It wasn't about stealing chains. It wasn't about money, it was about taking Gucci, a man known for being solid, dangerous, untouchable, and making him look vulnerable. The streets knew it, the fans knew it, Gucci knew it. Hours later, the rumor mill took an even darker turn when someone posted that Gucci might have been injured. A blurry picture of an ambulance outside an unknown building circulated. Someone wrote, "He's inside." That photo went viral instantly. People panicked, others called it fake. Blogs posted it without confirming. Fans were crying in comment sections, praying, hoping, begging for answers. But here's the thing, nobody knew if that ambulance had anything to do with Gucci, and that's what made everything feel so unstable. Nobody had facts, just chaos. Then came the biggest twist so far. An anonymous source, the same type that leaked the original footage, dropped a voice memo. A distorted voice said, "Y'all ain't see the whole clip. What happened after they approached him, that's the part they don't want to release." That made everyone stop in their tracks. If there was more footage, why hide it? What happened after the robbers ran up? Did Gucci fight back? Did something else happen? Did someone else show up? Twitter exploded again. "Drop the full footage, stop hiding it, we need answers." Big blogs reposted the voice memo. Thousands of comments flooded in. Everyone demanded the rest of the video, but the source stayed silent after that. Then the internet started zooming in on the parked getaway car again. Someone enhanced the plate. It was partially blurred but clear enough to see the first 3 digits. Fans began posting screenshots saying, "This car registered in East Atlanta." Others said, "That car was spotted in a music video last year." The theories grew more detailed, too detailed, to the point that people began accusing real names. Some fans even claimed Gucci's own crew member borrowed a car that matched the same color. That rumor spread like wildfire. People began interrogating members of Gucci's entourage in the comments. One even posted, "Y'all got a snake around y'all." And that comment hit so close to home that someone from Gucci's circle angrily responded, "Stop playing with us. Ain't nobody snake Gucci." But the internet didn't believe it. The internet never believes the first denial. Gucci's silence continued. Keyshia stayed quiet. Family members avoided posting anything. Friends responded with no comment, and the streets, they were buzzing like it was the early days of a war nobody wanted, because something was off, way off, and everyone felt it. As the night dragged on, the tension around Gucci Mane's situation became so thick that even people who normally stayed quiet started speaking in whispers. Streets were buzzing, studios went silent, and everyone who ever crossed paths with Gucci started reevaluating their last conversation with him. By sunrise, Atlanta felt different, heavier, like the city itself knew something bigger was happening beneath the surface. Rumors spread that Gucci finally returned one call, not from his manager, not from his wife, not from security, but from someone nobody expected. A childhood friend from back when he was still Radric Davis in the old neighborhood. According to the source, the friend answered and Gucci said just one thing, "I need you to listen before you talk." His voice wasn't angry. It wasn't shaken. It was cold, controlled, the tone Gucci only uses when something serious is happening. The friend said, "Bro, are you okay? The internet going crazy?" Gucci replied, "I ain't talking about the internet. I'm talking about the people behind this." Behind this, that phrase hit the streets like a meteor, because up until that moment, the internet was treating this like a robbery, a freak moment, a random event. But Gucci was hinting that this wasn't random at all. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't chance. Somebody planned it. And while that conversation wasn't supposed to leak, it did because nothing stays private when fear is in the air. Inside Gucci's home, Keyshia reportedly broke down after hearing parts of that leaked call. She wasn't crying out of sadness. It was frustration, anger, fear all mixed together. "Why is he calling everyone except me?" she yelled, pacing through the kitchen. Her sister tried to calm her down, but Keyshia snapped, "No, I'm his wife. I should know what's going on." Not the streets, but Keyshia didn't understand yet. Gucci wasn't ignoring her out of distrust. He was protecting her. Because whatever this was, it wasn't just about a robbery. It was about betrayal, something deeper. Something Gucci didn't want touching the people he loved. Meanwhile, the internet kept unraveling details of the getaway car. A TikTok user posted a video analyzing the enhanced plate, matching the first 3 digits to a car previously seen near a club known for drama. Another user found an old Instagram picture from a rapper who once had minor beef with Gucci in 2020, and guess what? Same make, same model, same color. The comments blew up instantly. That's him. It gotta be, he been hating Gucci. This not a robbery, it's revenge. Someone set Gucci up from the inside. Even though nobody could confirm anything, the theories spread like wildfire. And as always, theories become facts in the eyes of the internet when emotions run high. Security footage from a nearby gas station then surfaced, not of Gucci, not of the robbers, but of the same suspicious car driving past minutes before the robbery. The timestamp matched, the route matched, and the behavior, suspicious. The driver slowed down when Gucci's truck pulled in, then circled the block twice. Fans began stitching clips together like detectives. A YouTuber posted a full breakdown titled "The Robbery Was Planned," and it got 3 million views in hours. Inside Gucci's camp, panic mixed with paranoia. People side-eyed each other. One crew member refused to speak to another. Someone accused a distant cousin of leaking Gucci's location. Somebody else said a former assistant had been asking too many questions lately. A screaming match broke out in the living room with one person shouting, "Nobody knew where he was supposed to be tonight except US." Another shouted back, "Then one of US is the problem." Security had to separate them. That's how bad it got. While all this unfolded, a new twist dropped. A mysterious Instagram page posted a blurry photo of Gucci hours after the alleged robbery. You couldn't see his face clearly, but the outfit looked similar and he appeared to be talking to someone angrily, pointing at the ground. The caption read, "Ain't no robbery, it's deeper." That one post sent everything into chaos again. Fans began questioning if Gucci knew the robbers. Was it an argument turned robbery? Was it business gone wrong? Was it a warning? People started pulling up Gucci's old interviews, especially the ones where he talked about people switching up, loyalty disappearing, and snakes in the grass. A fan tweeted, "Gucci been telling us people were plotting on him." Another said, "He cleaned up his life, but some people don't forget." Someone else wrote, "This feels personal." Then came the voice clip that shook the entire internet. A distorted voice, possibly one of the masked men, saying, "He thought it was sweet, tell him this only the beginning." The clip went viral instantly. People lost their minds. This is a threat, this was planned, these dudes insane. But nobody knew if the voice was real, edited, AI, or a troll cloud chasing. The uncertainty made everything scarier. Meanwhile, Keyshia finally got through to Gucci. According to a family insider, she yelled the moment he picked up, "Where are you? Why you not telling me what's going on?" Gucci sighed heavily and said, "I'm okay, but everything ain't for the internet." "I gotta move smart," she shouted back. "Smart? People think you dead, you think that's smart?" Gucci stayed silent for a moment before saying something Keyshia didn't expect. "Somebody close knew where I was." "I gotta figure out who." Those words broke her. She went quiet. She realized this wasn't just about being robbed, this was about betrayal. Someone close enough to know Gucci's movements set him up for humiliation. Maybe even harm, and Gucci couldn't just brush that off. Back on the internet, fans analyzed every blurry frame of the new footage. They studied the masked men's height, clothing, posture. Someone claimed one robber had a limp. Another said one had finger tattoos. A supposed body language expert made a viral video saying the robbers didn't move like amateurs, they moved like people who had watched Gucci for days. One moment in the footage stood out too. The way the masked men approached Gucci didn't feel panicked. It felt confident, controlled. Like they knew he wouldn't fight back, like they knew something the public didn't. Gucci watched that clip himself later that night. He sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, eyes locked on the phone screen. And for the first time, people close to him saw something they hadn't seen in years, not fear, not anger, but disappointment. Deep, painful disappointment. He whispered, "I've been good to people. Why they do me like this?" His friend Dre put a hand on his shoulder and said, "They ain't gonna win, they ain't gonna embarrass you." But Gucci shook his head. "This ain't about embarrassment no more, this about trust. Somebody I trusted gave up information." That's when everything changed. Gucci wasn't angry at the robbers anymore, he was angry at the snake who opened the door for them. Because the truth was finally becoming clear, this wasn't a robbery, this was betrayal, and Gucci Mane was about to find out exactly who crossed him. Gucci Mane sat in silence, trying to piece everything together, the footage, the angles, the car circling the block, the distorted voice clip, the lack of response from people he trusted. The weight of betrayal hit him harder than the robbery itself. He'd survived beefs, court cases, street wars, and rumors for years, but betrayal from someone close? That's the kind of wound that cuts deep and never heals right. Word began spreading inside his camp that Gucci was preparing to speak publicly, but not the way people expected. He wasn't planning a music video, a press release, or a flashy Instagram post. No, Gucci was in revenge mode. Quiet revenge mode, the kind where every move is calculated, every conversation is selective, and every person gets watched closely. His team gathered in the living room, tension thick enough to choke on. Phones were buzzing nonstop, blogs were calling, fans were screaming online, but Gucci didn't care about any of that. He stood in the doorway staring at everyone, and the room went dead silent. He scanned each face slowly like he was studying reactions. Finally, he said, "One of y'all told somebody where I was." Nobody breathed, nobody moved. Gucci continued, "I don't know who yet, but I'm gonna find out. And when I do, it's gonna be handled." His voice was so cold that even his closest people didn't recognize it. This wasn't rap beef Gucci. This wasn't social media Gucci. This was the version of Gucci Mane they prayed never came back. The strategic, dangerous, emotionally wounded version who didn't let anything slide. One crew member, visibly shaking, said, "Gucci, it ain't none of us, man. We all love you." Gucci stared at him for a long second before replying, "Love don't mean loyalty." That line spread through the room like fire. People looked down, avoiding eye contact, terrified he might see guilt in their expressions, even if they weren't guilty of anything. Meanwhile, the internet continued tearing apart every piece of the robbery footage. Someone claimed they recognized a chain on one of the masked men that belonged to a rapper who had been beefing with Gucci indirectly for years. Others insisted the footage was older. Another rumor claimed the robbers didn't take anything, meaning their intention wasn't theft but humiliation. Then a new twist exploded online. A longer, clearer version of the footage surfaced out of nowhere. In this version, you could see the robbers confronting Gucci, and for a split second, one of them pulled off his mask to say something. The face was blurry, but fans slowed the video down, screenshot after screenshot, sharpening the image, comparing facial features to various rappers, producers, and even old acquaintances of Gucci. It didn't take long before the internet found a match. A lesser-known Atlanta artist, someone who once opened for Gucci years ago, someone who publicly complained that Gucci never put him on. Screenshots from his old Instagram lives circulated everywhere, moments where he expressed jealousy, bitterness, resentment. One old clip resurfaced of him saying, "One day I'ma make my name off something big. Watch." Fans went crazy. He set Gucci up. He planned this. This the snake Gucci was talking about. Comments poured in on the man's page so fast his entire comment section froze. But he quickly posted a video denying everything, yelling into the camera, "Y'all crazy if you think I'd rob Gucci. That ain't me in the video. Leave me alone." But he said something strange at the end of his denial. "They told me not to say nothing, but now y'all dragging me, so I'ma talk if I gotta." Who told him not to say anything? Why would anyone tell him that? Why was he prepared to talk? The blogs went insane. Inside Gucci's home, his manager burst into the room yelling, "Gucci, you need to see this." Gucci watched the artist's denial video quietly. His face didn't change, didn't twitch, didn't react, but his eyes darkened. After the video ended, Gucci calmly turned to his team and said, "I know who I need to talk to." His team grew nervous. One spoke up, "Gucci, you can't just pull up on people right now. This situation too hot." "Cameras everywhere." Gucci stared straight ahead. "I don't need to pull up, they'll come to me." And he was right, because just hours later, the same artist who denied being in the video started posting cryptic stories on Instagram. One had the words, "I didn't snitch, I didn't set nobody up." Another said, "People know what they did." And the final one said, "Y'all don't know the pressure behind the scenes." Pressure behind the scenes? Pressure from who? Pressure for what? Fans ran wild with new theories. Some said a bigger gang or organization forced him to participate. Others said someone with money paid for the setup. Some said the robbery was a message, not to steal, but to intimidate. Maybe Gucci refused a deal, maybe he cut off someone financially, maybe he walked away from something he wasn't supposed to walk away from. And then it happened, the anonymous source returned. This time, not with footage. Not with audio, but with a message that sent chills through every fan watching. Of the footage drops tonight, the world will know who was really involved. People lost their minds instantly. TikTok live streams popped up everywhere analyzing the announcement. YouTubers scheduled reaction videos. Twitter was melting. Instagram comments hit millions. Gucci's camp went on high alert. One crew member tried to call Gucci, yelling, "Bro, this getting dangerous. Whoever leaking this wanna start a war." Gucci just replied calmly, "Let them leak it. I'm ready to see it too." At exactly 11:53 p.m., the third footage released, shaky, chaotic, but explosive. In this angle, after the robbers ran toward the car, a third person stepped out of the shadows, not masked. Not hiding, talking on a phone and pointing toward Gucci like he was giving directions. The internet screamed in collective shock. People zoomed in instantly. Fans froze frames. Some recognized the figure immediately, not a rapper, not a known enemy, but someone from Gucci's own extended circle. Someone who had been around backstage. Someone who had been photographed beside Gucci multiple times. Someone who knew Gucci's schedule, habits, routes, preferences. A friend, a brother, a trusted face. The betrayal was real. Gucci watched the footage with his jaw clenched, eyes locked, his entire body stiffened. His friend Dre whispered, no way he did that." Gucci didn't blink, didn't speak, didn't breathe. Finally, Gucci said in a low, calm voice, "I fed that man, I trusted that man, and he lined me up." The room fell silent. Nobody knew what to say, nobody dared to speak. Gucci stood up slowly and walked toward the door. "Where you going?" Keisha called out, voice cracking. Gucci paused, looked back with a cold stare and said, "To handle what they started." He didn't yell, he didn't rush, he didn't panic. He moved like a man who had made up his mind, a man who knew exactly who betrayed him and exactly what he was about to do next. And just like that, the robbery wasn't the story anymore. The betrayal was. And now the entire world waited for Gucci's next move, because whatever happened next, I would change everything. And now here we are, standing at the edge of a story that went from a simple robbery rumor to one of the most shocking betrayals hip-hop has seen in years. The internet thought it was a random attack. Fans thought it was a setup from outsiders. But the leaked footage exposed something far darker. Someone Gucci trusted, someone he fed, someone he called family, was standing in the shadows that night, watching everything unfold. And the craziest part? That third angle only raised more questions. Why was he pointing? Who was he talking to? Was he directing the robbers? Was he promising Gucci's location to someone else? Or was he just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? The fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family is left divided, trying to figure out how someone so close could ever choose betrayal over loyalty. And with Gucci moving in silence, refusing to make a public statement, refusing to post, refusing to deny or confirm anything, the suspense is eating everyone alive. The streets are whispering, the blogs are waiting, the industry is watching, because whatever Gucci does next will change everything. Will he expose the person who set him up? Will he confront them privately? Will another piece of leaked footage drop and blow the case wide open? Or will the truth stay buried until Gucci himself decides the world is ready to hear it? That's why you need to lock in right now. If you've been following this drama from the first leak, hit that like button. If you want to stay updated on every twist, make sure you subscribe. And tell us in the comments, who do you think betrayed Gucci Mane? Do you think more footage is coming? And what do you think Gucci's next move should be? Your voice matters, and we're digging deeper until the full truth comes out. Stay tuned, this story is far from over.